Plastic fantastic. Welcome back everyone. I've put together a little video about my newest bag, the 30-liter everyday backpack, and I've put together a few lens and camera combos to give you an idea how much you can fit into the bag. By the way, excuse me for the shades. The Danish sun is quite harsh midday on the ice, so yeah, so no Casey Neistat cover, it's just the sun. I didn't plan this to be a review, but I'd like to give you my 2 cents on this bag. Basically, I've seen a lot of videos where the everyday backpack is compared to bags like the Pro Tactic from Lowepro, and I don't really think that this should be done for one simple reason. The everyday backpack is meant to be exactly this, an everyday pack where you throw in your everyday needs, items you need every day, like your pullover. You can throw in a jacket, you can yeah, just basically convert this bag to everything you want it to be, whereas a bag like a Lowepro Pro Tactic is a bag that is meant to be out in the field. It's kind of annoying to convert it back and forth if you want to use it for everyday stuff. So that's for me what it comes down to. If you want a bag that is quite fashionable, if you want so, and can be used for grocery shopping, for shopping, for being that type of, you know, run and gun type of photographer, take your stuff out, take a picture, put it back in, move on, then this is your bag for sure. If you are that type of photographer that takes a lot of gear, is more like location based, like hiking to a spot, taking it all in, the scenery, working through your lenses and putting the bag down in dirty environment. I think if this is the kind of shooting you do, and this is the kind of requirements that you have to a bag, like standing up to the elements, then I wouldn't recommend actually going for a peak design bag, because you have to, you know, open this side up to reach one part of the bag, and open one side up to get to the other side, and that's really only that's only comfortable if you are running and gunning, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean that this bag can't take like a proper rain. I've had it out in the rain on my back and quite a few times, and didn't get any gear wet. That's all fine. The only thing is if you put your bag down like that on a bike, for instance, or you have sand flying here on the beach up here where it's not really sealed, it's just, you know, there's your opening of the bag and it flips down, and that's it. So for really heavy weather, heavy winds, sand and everything, I would probably tend to use something like a Lowepro bag, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, what else? I find that the everything that is like a strap on the back, but this goes for all peak design bags I've used, they're quite short. So if you're a big guy or big girl, yeah, this can be annoying sometimes. Like for the sternum strap, for instance. Like, I'm not a giant, like maybe for Japan standards, but if I'm wearing like a thick winter jacket, this I already have to use like the longest position on this one to close it. So what is anybody doing that is above 6 feet? And one thing that is also like a little bit of a minus is the padding on the back. like especially on the bottom here, they have made it a little bit more rigid so that the bag can actually stand when you put it down. And I thought that this edge here is pushing against the hip a little bit in an uncomfortable way, but that's only me. Everything else about this bag is pretty awesome. Really like it. The only thing that I would wish for a version 2 is if you could actually turn the shoulder straps all the way in, like with the everyday or with the travel bag, to hide the shoulder straps away for the bike carry, for instance. If I put the bag down on my bike on the rack, then yeah, I kind of tuck them in like this, and it works. It's just not very. It's not beautiful, and it's not even. So that's about it. Everything else, I really like this bag. It's, as I said, it's rugged. It's very versatile. You can use it for every purpose. The laptop compartment is very big. If you use an MacBook Pro 15, 13 inch or smaller, that actually fits the iPad compartment, so that leaves you with space for some magazines or whatever. So no complaints, no bigger complaints. So hope you like this video. If you have any questions, yeah, just put them down below in the comment section. If you have feedback, please be respectful. We all do this just for fun. So yeah, and enjoy the video. See you soon. Bye. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to run you through some options of how much gear actually fits into one flex fold divider. So one flex fold divider will give you an XE3 with the 16mm prime lens and the sun hood, like this, or like this, no problem. An Instax mini camera, a Yongnuo 560 flash, like that, a classic Minolta SLR with the 50mm prime, a 16 to 55 to 8, including the hood, getting kind of tight on the bottom one, $60mm macro lens, getting kind of lost, 35-1.4, also getting kind of lost in here. Now, as you can see with the smaller prime lenses, and this goes for all the f2 lenses except for the 90, of course, the small compact zoom, the 18 to 55, the 60mm macro, you get it. You can actually stash them inside here. Of course, you don't want to do this like that, because you're going to scratch them and whatnot. So my suggestion for you is either you're getting wrapping cloth like this. It's not going to cost you a lot, and then you're going to wrap your lens in the cloth. Of course, you're going to do this pretty, and then you can stash two prime lenses in one flex fold divider, and yeah, gain a lot of space. If you do the math, you can do 6 lenses in one compartment like that, meaning across the whole bag. What I would suggest is that you go for either the medium size range pouch or the small one. I did run the math. You can then put 2 lenses in this one, like 2 small prime lenses, and then have them in one flex fold divider, and you can take them out very fast and quickly to yeah, reorganize or take a lens out or whatever. XH1 body. XH1 booster grip. Or an XH1 with the 16mm f2 prime with the reversed, come on, lens hood. So, or like that. So let's do some packing. First of all, push this back. I'm going to pack a classic SLR. And then there is my XH1 with the 16 to 55. That goes in here. And then what else we got? I'm just going to pack for single use, not for stacking, so just for fast gripping, taking out. What else we got? 60mm macro. .35. Leaves me with the 16 that could rattle around in here. Or I'm just going to take one flash and of course a flash commander. Pop. And there we go. If you are bringing along some other packing tools like a range pouch or a field pouch, of course you can make use of this top compartment here. For example, you could fit comfortably 50 to 140 in the top compartment. But I wouldn't do this without any padding, because this area of the bag right here is very thin, and if you imagine something impacting from here, which is not very likely, but I wouldn't count on it. So we'll bring a 50 to 140. This basically takes up the entire space. We'll bring the 35 prime, for instance. And we'll bring an XH1 with the zoom lens. So this could be the setup for your Holy Trinity setup, like instead of the 35 you would have a 10-24 or another wide angle lens, and heaps of space for accessories. So if you're a prime shooter, you can basically waste away with space. So let's do the classic SLR again. Oops. So here's our 60mm macro again, and the 35. And there is the XE3 with the f2 lens, 16mm. That's like basically getting lost in abyss. So let's, just for the sake of it, yeah, you get the idea. There's so much space. So let's run the XH1 with the battery grip set up with the 16-55. It's quite a chunky one in the X series system. So first, there is, if you have the 16-55, you wouldn't be using this, but this the 18-55, just to give you an idea. It goes all the way in the back. Maybe switch the video light off. So that goes on. This goes in the back here. And now still have space for another prime lens in the back here, and another one here. This is the 35. Now this folds over, and there goes the big XH1 with the battery grip. Now basically the bottom compartment is completely full. Leaves you of course with a lot of space for accessories in the side pocket here and in the top compartment. You can of course also do this the other way around and fit more lenses in the bottom. Or another SLR if that's to your liking, if you don't need a lot of accessories and maybe have a small pouch to make use of this space, and then do it this way around. Of course that's also possible. If you have space left to spare and you don't need like lots of lenses or whatever, you could also push the flex fold divider out of the way like so, and then just toss your cam in. You're wasting some space away, but again, if you have no stuff that you have to bring along, yeah, you can use it like that. So let me spin the bag around. What I'm doing, it's not the only way I guess, but that's how I do it. I'm putting the flex fold dividers on the other side up, if it's only for transportation sake, and then I'm dropping my 50-140 in there. Done. Now I still have one flex fold divider in here left to put in another lens of like a 10-24 would be my choice if we are talking about the Holy Trinity. flex fold divider popped over. Again, the X-T2 with the 1655. And that's about it. Now the top compartment is completely empty. You can fit your accessories in there or whatever. There is another possibility to handle this. You could actually just put your camera in the top compartment. It is actually not really thick padded. Like this part here, this bit is just cloth. So if it's closed, anything that hits from here could hit the camera. So you maybe want to use some lens cloth to pad that up, like so. And then you could, if you don't want to put the lens upright, like so, you can still put your lens, the big one, in the flex fold divider and then access everything from one side. But again, remember, it is padded up here and up here, but from this side here you should provide some padding like this cloth, and then the camera is also a little bit more stable in here because this compartment is quite big. So that like this the camera won't roll around or whatever. So let's check the side pockets. I usually don't carry around too much stuff in there, just the bare minimum. So there is on the top an SD card reader for iPhone. This is my emergency dongle for USB to USB-C. This is always in here, and that's in case I forget to bring the big USB-C adapter that sits in here. In the top here I usually carry around an USB stick. That's empty, but you get it. There's a spare SD card, and there is my Peak Design hex tool. If I'm bringing my strap, that just sits on top in here. On the other side, I usually don't have that much, but for the sake of it, there's my power bank. It sits on the bottom. The cable I keep around here. And then there's this compartment left for, I don't know, maybe a body cap or a lens cap. Boop. The magnetic latch top compartment, usually I keep a lens cloth, and there are my cable headphones. Top compartment here, usually I just keep my wallet or my iPhone. That's about what goes in here. So this is a setup I'd like to show you. I used this when I was on my trip to Barcelona. I brought my X-T2 with the 18 to 55, not fight, for the purpose of traveling light and easy. So the camera was sitting in there. on the other side I actually had my water bottle, like so. The reason I did this, when you use the outside compartments for a water bottle or tripod or whatever, the bag is expanding like big time, and I don't really like that, because if you're walking through spaces with a lot of people, you're more likely to bump into someone or to knock over stands and shops or anything, you name it, and therefore I'd like to keep my water bottle inside. It's a clean contain water bottle. They have very good seals, so I absolutely trust them not to open or leak or whatever, spill. And the other thing is I can just reach in from the top, take it out, drop it in, and it's all done. So again, the camera here. In here is the trusted aperture video light or portrait light. That was sitting in here, and in the front here, if I remember correctly, next to the aperture was actually my video mic, which is on the camera now, obviously. And in the front here is another lens cloth, a bigger one, a wrapping cloth, and I had the power source for the camera and the battery grip in here. So, which means obviously I also brought the battery grip, but I didn't actually use it when I was running around town. I had the battery grip inside our apartment for charging batteries, obviously. So that's about this, and the top compartment just carried miscellaneous stuff like books, whatever, just stuff. You could drop your lens in here. I would recommend it and this goes for any type situation, if you actually use the top flex fold dividers up here and you want to put lenses in there or camera bodies or anything that is sensitive for breakage, I would actually recommend that you go get the Peak Design lens, those carry bits things, I don't know, the pouches, I think it's the field pouch, and put your lenses in there and then use the top compartment, just because I don't know, this can close down really tight, but I don't know if a smaller lens just could bounce around and roll around, and it's better if you have it wrapped around, or just use a lens cloth like that and use plenty and just snug it up a bit so that it can't roll around. Yep, so that's about it at this point. Something worth mentioning, this is not something that is promoted by Peak Design, because this feature actually is associated with the big travel backpack. But if you think about the situation, you're on a trip by plane and you want to store your backpack away in the top compartment over your seat, but you want your compact camera to stay with you for camera purposes, whatever. Maybe just the tablet, if you have one. You all know the trusted 5-liter sling. This bag actually fits in the top compartment of the 30-liter Peak Design backpack that we are looking at right now. And it's not like it's making a tight fit, but actually you can close it down without punishing the backpack. So, like so. so versatile. Ah.